Bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
All right. Well. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. How is everybody doing? Today is Thursday, July 13th. 193 days into the new year. Just 172 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States, hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? I'm watching Karen's dancer here in Twitter. Got distracted. It's pretty cool. And then the one that was after that. Love my dancers to kick off a Thursday night. Man, we only had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What happened? We normally have like 50. What happened to 50? I want 50. There's the church lady. That works. That counts as 10. 10. How you doing, everybody? Man. It's another Thursday. It's another Fader night. That's right. We've got John Rappaport here in his No More Fake Newsroom live, followed by open lines all night long. So much to talk about tonight. Now, I'm going to set the stage for a few things. Let's get all the bill paying out of the way. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Simple enough. It is Thursday night. TweetDeck, Tweeter, all of that type of night tonight. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. All right? If you want to come and hang out with all of us and enjoy Dimebag Daryl. Can always count on Mark Taranda to come in with the big stuff with his Dean Lightning Bolt Z. Man, that guitar, right? I think it's true. I think Eddie Van Halen buried like one of his guitars with Daryl. I think that's true, right? It better be an unmarked grave. Somebody, some demented individual. Anyway. Yeah, there's that lightning bolt. Dean Z. Dimebag Daryl. All right, thank you guys for that. I love Dimebag. Where was I? Oh, Twitter. Come and hang out with us with the conversation. Everything is in real time. It's Thursday night, which means it's going to be out of control. Come over. If you're new to the show, right? If you're new to the show and you're listening now, and please understand, the show is live. If you've seen it on YouTube or some kind of strange archive out there, iHeartRadio, whatever. Those are okay, this is live. Now. So come and hang out with us on Twitter, hashtag F2B. Join in on the conversation. It's great. Everybody over here is cool. If you come in with an attitude, you get run out. Nobody cares about you. Nobody responds. And, you're the lonely kid on the playground that nobody will play with. And, eventually they just disappear. Everybody that remains, the thousands that do, The Fadernauts are just a joy to hang out with. Nothing but love here. Okay, so come and hang out with us at J Church Radio. And any questions or comment tonight or any other night on the show, please use hashtag F2BQ. All right, just popped up here. I heard you had a good Stan Romanek story. I just saw his movie on Netflix. What's your thoughts on Stan? Why? Did they mention me in the documentary? Didn't know that. How would I have a good... Stan was on the show with us probably 4 years ago, right before he got arrested. And so, no, I don't... everything I know about Stan has been on the show. So I don't have a good Stan Romanek story. There you go. No, I haven't watched the documentary yet. We have seen it on Netflix, but... it's called Committing, and 3 hours, 2 hours, or whatever. And we haven't had a chance to do it, but we'll get around to it. And I'm sure it's interesting. I'm sure it's cool. All right, but no, I haven't seen it yet. He's got a great story. He's a lot of experiences, and the UFO in the window is one of the best. So, but no, we haven't seen it. Okay, but anyway, so that just came in on hashtag F2BQ 1 minute ago. I keep that going live right now to my right. Everybody on the bunker cam, hello to everybody out there. You can see I'm looking. They're watching me. And I've got Twitter right here. I've got the chat rooms over here. Okay, emails right here. Shows here. Rita's here. Callers are here. Callers are there. Webcam is over here, and bumper music is back here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monitors right in front of me. I just go all the way around. Have you guys ever wonder? See, check this out. Look on the bunker cam. Bam, 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 bam. Is that nuts? You see that? You see that's what I deal with every single night. See, there's the console, there's that digital stuff. Oh, look, there's my I can do this. There's my crystals, right? And they sit on top of my controller, my digital controller, and then, speakers and stuff like that, and computer. There you go. There's compressors. See everything lit. Watch. I'll talk. How cool is that? Sometimes I'll just sit and watch myself talk and light up like a Christmas tree. That's always fun. Okay. All right. Is this right? Where do I want this? Is that about right? How's that? Is that good? All right. Live radio, dealing with video. Those out there that are listening to me have no idea what I just did. But those on the bunker cam do. And if you want to see the bunker cam, go to our membership area. It's that simple. Go to the membership area, click on it, become a Fadernaut. And you can do it for free. And you could, Rita said, did you finally run out of things to say? I haven't even started the show. We got lots to talk about tonight. Anyway, go to our membership area, click. You'll get the bunker cam that I was just talking about. You'll get an email directly to me. You can get gear. You get commercial-free downloads, autographed hats, all kinds of really cool things, plus the drawings and all of that stuff that we do are all there and available to you. And you get to help support the show, but you get all of those other things for being a Fadernaut. Or you can get our podcast. That's just $2 a month. And you can listen to the show every single day. We have 688 archive shows there. And just go and click. And all the platforms that you need, Android, Apple, all of that is right there. Go to the Apple Store, download it, head over to Libsyn, click on our site, and get yourself registered. $2 a month. There you go. All right. Let's see. Where are we? Don't forget about all of our sponsors. Right now, I'm in the studio drinking Fade to Black Blend by River Moon Coffee. I think we have talked River Moon into coming on the show on Monday. Okay, and if they don't know it yet, they will be on with us on Monday. And I want to hear from them. And their company is wonderful. The coffee is the best. And so go and support the show and buy the best coffee in the world. I guarantee you that will be your coffee source for the rest of your life. River Moon Coffee, Fade to Black blend. Just use the promo code F2B blend. And getthetea.com, the promo code there is Fader, Fader. They've got a really cool special going on right now. You buy 3 months of the Super Strength tea, and you get a full month of the new Pomegranate Super Strength for free. And promo code Fader, you get free shipping. Best deal, right? Go and do it. And then there is New Pharma, GNU Pharma. An amazing company. And the deal that they have just for the Fadernauts, promo code F2B, F2B, you're going to get 33% off of everything that you order. So think about that. It's the best. That's why it pays to be a Fadernaut. And Studio Dome speakers. Okay? Still, that package, a stereo, Bluetooth, true wireless stereo package, $129, all in, hard shell case, power supply cables, free shipping, and you get a stereo system wherever you go. Stereo. Those are our sponsors. Help support the show. All right, let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today, Harrison Ford. That's right, Harrison Ford. Today is 75. Now, Ken Jeong today is 48, and you know him. He's that guy, played Leslie Chow in The Hangover. Funny dude, 48 years old today. And also today, that's right, we must bow to Cheech Marin because he is 71. Cheech Marin, 71 years old. Unreal. I wonder if he's still smoking the weed. You think he is? I bet he is. Our dead guy's birthday today is Julius Caesar. 100 BC to 44 BC, and I'm going to talk about those dates here in just a minute. 100 BC to 44 BC, died at the age of 56. Of course, Roman politician. He was a general. He was an author, wrote in Latin prose, played a critical role in the events that led to the demise of the Roman Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire. But then, on the Ides of March of 44 BC, Caesar was due to appear at a session of the Senate. On the steps of the Senate portico, several senators had conspired to assassinate Julius. Within moments, the entire group, including Brutus, was striking out at the dictator. Caesar attempted to get away, but blinded by blood, he fell, tumbled, tripped, and then at the bottom of the portico, the men just attacked him, continued stabbing him as he laid defenses. It was a horrible way to go. Around 60 men participated in the assassination, and he was stabbed 23 times. Wow. After all that he did, too, right? Happy birthday, Julius Caesar, 100 BC to 44 BC. On this day in history, OTD. Big day. I watched it. I watched the entire event. Yep, in Pasadena, in my bedroom, smoking that weed all day long because it was 1985. And at Wembley Stadium in London, Prince Charles and Prince Diana officially open Live Aid, a worldwide concert organized to raise money for the relief of Africans' starvation. Now, the rock extravaganza continued at JFK Stadium in Philadelphia and at other arenas around the world. It was 16 hours long, called a super concert, globally linked by satellite to more than 1 billion viewers in 110 nations. Oh, man. It was incredible. And everybody, I mean, you had Queen, I remember that. I remember the Led Zeppelin reunion, remember that? David Bowie. Wow. It was absolutely an incredible, incredible weekend. Fader fact, in more than half of United States cities, it is illegal for homeless people to sit or lay on a sidewalk. Things need to change. things need to change. Tonight is another Fader Night with John Rappaport and his No More Fake Newsroom live, followed by open lines. Call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Now, this is when I need my River Moon. A few weeks ago, Sean David Morton did show up for his sentencing in court, and that was on June 19th. Today is July 13th, so 3.5 weeks ago. And, oh, really? Okay, I'll thank you for that. And he's been on the run ever since. So today, I spent most of my morning, I was busy doing stuff all day today, trying to get some information on Sean David Morton, where he is he okay, what's going on, anything out there. Nobody knows anything. And I spoke to, maybe, I don't want to give too much away here, but 3 or 4 people that are in the know. And all of them said the same thing. Dude is on the run. That's it. I tried to find out about this appeal that was reportedly filed with a higher federal court, and I got nothing on that. And I think that everybody that I spoke to today know a little bit more than they're saying, but and I understand they don't want to get involved, and if they know the whereabouts or if they know anything in particular, if they know anything that's going on, nobody's talking, and I totally respect that. So where does that leave us? It leaves us with Sean David Morton is still on the run. There is nothing in the court system. I did everything that I could to see if there was an appeal filed or if there was any kind of paperwork filed or anything. There is nothing. There's no other court dates. There's nothing done. There's just a warrant out for his arrest. So no update there. His wife, Melissa, is doing court next month. I think it's August 19th for her sentencing. And I'm assuming that she's going to show up for that. And I expect, a judge will be special and lenient and show a lot of consideration to her. So let's hope that all of that ends well. But I don't know what's up with Sean, and I tried to get an update, but to be out there on the run from the feds for 3.5 weeks, woof, man. Okay, so that's as far as I can take that one. And then I wanted to talk about dating, because today, not dating, but calendars. And this is a subject that I have been thinking about a lot over the last year, over the last month especially. And last night, Rita and I were talking about it. And then today, it's Julius Caesar's birthday. And, so you got this date, 100 BC to 44 BC. There's this date that's there. Now, let's talk about this for a second. History says that Herodotus was in Egypt in 440 BC. And you can go and check this out in the historical record. The number, the actual date will change, 450 BC, 440 BC. Okay, so it's an arbitrary number. Now, certainly he was a historian, and if you read the history of Herodotus and the things that he had done and claimed and collected, dude had a pretty extraordinary life. And now the reports about him being in Egypt and the things that he says that he saw there they're part of the historical record. But this is where I'm going with this. 440 BC. At 440 BC, BC 0 has not happened yet. Okay? It has not happened yet. So when you back off of 0 and you're going back into BC, and the further back you go, and I mean from the day before back, the further back you go, the more that everything turns into pure guesswork. When you look at the different cultures that had calendars, and that goes with, China, Japan, Greece, Rome, Egypt, other cultures, right? How do they line up? The 0 BC number, or the 0, BC and AD, that number and how that works out, that wasn't decided until much later. And there's a certain amount of consecutive dates and some historical bookkeeping that was done out there. But to line that up with other cultures around the world and coming up with the same dates and trying to get, it's arbitrary. And there have been lots of attempts and historians out there trying to nail all of these dates down so we can historically look back. But I'm here to say this. When you hear somebody talk about 2000 BC, 3000 BC, 4000 BC, no. It's guesswork. It could be off by not only hundreds, but maybe thousands and thousands of years. And you need to understand why I am saying this. At around 300 BC, there was an Egyptian priest that was tasked with coming up with the history of Egypt. That was his job. So he goes and he travels to all of the sites and all of the tombs and everything that had something on the wall. He's collecting papyrus. He's getting all the records that he can. And he went and chronicled all of the pharaohs and the dynasties, came up with the 30 dynasties, and then that went on the Osiris temple and in Abydos, and there it sits. Now, you have to understand, at 300 BC, somebody that is trying to put together day after day after day after day after day, going back 3,000 years, with no database, no computer, nothing like that, and write this down and come up with this, how long each king and pharaoh and family was in power down to the year. They did not have dates. They didn't have numbers. Okay? You know how they dated years? Going back 3,000 BC. You know how they dated years? They gave them names. Names. Okay? Names. So the most significant event of that year, if everybody could agree on it, we had a flood, we had an earthquake, a temple burned down, we had a famine, we had a drought. Whatever happened, that we had a war, we had a battle, we had taxes, whatever. That's what they named that year. Okay, it's not a number, so you couldn't. It's not like, right? So at 3100 BC, there was no date for them at 3100 BC. First off, 0 BC hasn't happened yet, so you don't have that, and you don't have a starting point before then. They didn't have their own 0. So they could have at 3100 BC, call that 0. That's the first dynasty. So today we've got King Menes. He's united Upper and Lower Egypt, right? Narmer went to war, united. We're going to call today Egypt year 0 and then work from there. That's not how it happened. And it would be nice if there was up to 300 BC, that there was 2,900 consecutive years there. Imagine that. Day after day after day after day chronicled. It didn't work that way. So, putting together all of this historical stuff that is based on the Temple of Osiris and the Pharaoh's Kings list that is on the wall there is arbitrary. It's guesswork. That's all it is. It's pure guesswork. So when somebody says 3100 BC, it could be 41, it could be 5100 BC. We don't know. And that goes with everything else throughout history. I have tried to find and I have tried to search for the one, like one point source of information. This is the researcher, this is the professor, this is the scientist, this is the historian and their team that put together world history, and that's what it's all based on and here, and they locked it up with this data and this data and this data, and this is how they did it, and they've noted everything here, and boom. Okay? But it's in books everywhere. It's in books. Based on what? From whom? It's such a crazy, crazy thought. And students are taught today. I speak. We have guests on this show that speak and throw these dates around. And it's arbitrary. It's guesswork. We just don't know. What we do know, Göbekli Tepe, carbon dating, 12,000 BC. That's from here. So it's 12,000 years old based on carbon dating. Okay, I get that. That I can wrap my head around. But it's the dating of everything else. So when we look at a number like, and it's not close. And you got to remember the Gregorian calendar and how that was set up. Even that could be off. And there are, that conspiracy that's out there. It's just about that very start of thing erased 300 years of world history that is vaporized and unaccounted for. And I know it's a conspiracy theory, but you look at some of the reasoning behind that, and it makes you sit back and scratch your head. And it makes you think to yourself, are we at 2017 right now, or are we at 2317 right now? You need to really think about these things. So when we talk about dating and we're talking about anything out there in the historical record, especially when it goes into the BC world, it's just guesswork. They didn't have a number to base things on. So always think about that. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. When I come back, that's right, the one and only John Rappaport. And it's No More Fake Newsroom Live right here, and then followed by open lines all night long, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. JChurchRadio. Simple. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Hashtag F2BQ are questions. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Göbekli Tepe.
Hi, folks. Let's wind the clocks back 60 years. Food was different. Food provided health and nutrition, and using supplements was minimal. Unfortunately, now we have chemicals, GMOs, herbicides, and pesticides that can be quite lethal in the name of our food supply and, of course, the ever-loving dollar. Supplementing our diets can be very important to stay healthy. Cleansing from daily intruders to the body might be critical. Live strong and take charge. Log on to getthetea.com. Our herbal tea is a great way to cleanse from intruders. Our supplements is a great way to maintain and improve your health. When your health is not up to par, go to getthetea.com. No GMOs, no fillers, and organic, and very helpful in keeping you at the top of your game. Life is too short to feel, you know what I mean. Stay in the game, at the top of your game with getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Again, getthetea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA. The Planet.
Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at kgraradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. kgraradio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
And now, coming to you from the No More Fake Newsroom in Deep Space, which is the space that we suspect to be true, that the world as it is fed to us every day by the Ministry of Truth is a lie, a false reality, a movie projected on the screen of our subconscious. This, however, is the breakout. All the screens crash, they all go down, and we see the light of day. A new day. No more robots, no more androids. It's the No More Fake Newsroom with John Rappaport. Take it away, John.
Thank you, Jimmy. Good to be here. We are pursuing this case of the mummy. The mummy. What is it? Nazca, Peru. Let's see. Got lots of notes this week here. So, just to recap very quickly, we're talking basically here about a large figure, apparently female, mummy, that looks like a statue covered with white powder. And there is a crew that is working down there from Gaia.com. Jay Widener is my connection down there, known Jay for a long time, and getting updates on what they're discovering here, because this figure has 3 fingers and 3 toes. And what does that mean? Okay, so let me recap here the latest email exchange with Jay. First question, have x-rays been done of the hands and the feet? Jimmy and I discussed this last week. We're talking 3 fingers, 3 toes. Jay says yes. I say, have those x-rays been released? He says we should release close-ups so these questions can be answered. I will suggest this. Then I ask, what about DNA samples from the fingers or the toes compared with DNA samples from other parts of the body? Do they match? And the reason I'm asking that question, obviously, is because if somehow, by some ingenious means, the fingers and the toes were attached as a hoax later to make this figure look alien, 3 fingers, 3 toes, then the DNA samples from the fingers and toes would not match samples from other parts of the body. So I asked that question. Jay answers, it is early, but so far everything is matching. That is his comment about DNA sampling, and DNA analysis is ongoing. at the last count was 5 different labs. So then I say, well, if the x-rays show the fingers and toes are integral to and coherent with the surrounding anatomical structure, is that confirmed? Jay says, working on it, we'll let you know. Let's see if there's anything more here. I say, if the physical material that composes the fingers and toes is shown to be flesh and not artificial synthetic, ... And Jay answers, nothing artificial in the x-rays. That would be certainly a very key point. Okay, so that's that email exchange. Then I found an interview / article by Linda Moulton Howe in which she asks a few questions of a scientist who has been shown on at least one Gaia video looking at x-rays. Her name is Mary Jessie, MD, Assistant Professor of Radiology at the University of Colorado, Denver. And she's saying a couple of things, talking about the hands, basically that the hands are complicated in their structure and they look real. And then no sign of artificial attachment in the x-rays. In other words, they don't look like they're glued onto the body or the wrist or the ankle. No sign of, no glue, no sign that something has been artificially attached here, which is a key. Okay, so those are 2 more notes. Let me look at the rest of this. Apparently, okay, now, before I get to that, there is more, it looks like to me, there's more than one project going on down there, which I was not aware of. There's something else called the Alien Project that is also doing analysis. But we are now talking about 4 bodies at least that have been recovered from a tomb that was, according to this, was originally discovered by tomb robbers. And the initial meeting, we're now talking about the Alien Project, with the tomb robbers took place in January 2017. And these 4 bodies now have been named Maria, that's the one that we're talking about here, covered with white powder, Albert, Josephina, Victoria. And a couple of these bodies, at least, are very small. They look like they could be very young children, but not necessarily children. I'm just giving that to you as the size. Okay, so what else do I have here? Carbon dating. A couple of different estimates here. This is on Maria. Somewhere between 249 and 308 AD, and the other one would be 249 to 410 AD. Okay. Then I've seen pictures of several 3-fingered hands that are not attached to bodies. In other words, presumably they had been at some time in the past, but now analysts working with the Alien Project have either disattached them from bodies or they found them in that way, just as hands. Okay. Now this is quite startling. One X-ray of one of the small bodies shows metal objects, looks like 3 metal objects inside the body, plus 3 eggs in the female abdomen. And that provisional conclusion would be that this particular body is not mammalian. Could be alien. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, what else here? Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to get a handle on this, and I don't have a concise, clear, defined, differentiated info that's up to date, but the investigation appears to be expanding. In other words, Gaia and their crew seem to be examining now more than one body, more than just Maria, and this alien project is examining what seems to be 3 or 4 different bodies. Are these 2 projects working together? Are they overlapping in terms of their investigation and also the scientists that they're using? I don't know the answer to that question. So I don't know the degree of possible cooperation that's taking place here between these 2 groups. Are there other groups that are also investigating this in the area of Nazca, Peru? I don't know. And I wasn't aware until actually today about the alien project. I don't know who's leading that up. It seems to be crowdfunded, and we'll just have to see how all this shakes out. But the DNA testing on Maria, which is the mummy we've been talking about here for the last several weeks on Fade to Black, that DNA testing is ongoing, and I believe it's going to take a while before all the results are in. And a while could mean several months. So that would be that. The conclusion or provisional conclusion that the fingers and the toes are coherently connected to the wrist and ankle, that would be a blockbuster. If that is, 100% confirmed, replicated in other X-ray or MRI, CAT scan, whatever, sufficiently replicated to say with absolute certainty that the fingers and the toes of Maria are part and parcel of the body. That would be big time to get that definitive, absolutely, we're sure. Here are the names of the labs that have done this analysis in various countries. Here are their written conclusions. They are absolutely ruling out the idea that there's a hoax here in terms of attachment of the fingers and the toes. There is no doubt that the X-rays show the interior structure, the bones and so forth. It's all integrated. And what does that mean? We don't know, but that's what we see for sure. Okay? All right, so that's my story for this week, and I want to bring in Jimmy, who's also been on the case, and let's see what we've got here.
Well, and thank you for that, John. What is most important here, and you've addressed it, but I want to really drive this home for everybody. What is most important here is that every part of everything needs to be DNA tested. And that goes for the fingers, the hands, the bones of the arm, the ribs, the butt, the feet, the ankles, the toes, the neck, the vertebrae, the skull, and everything has to match, right? And I have been assured as you have, and I want the audience to understand that that is the exact testing that is going on. Now, if one of those tests come back false and they don't match, now we've got some funny business going on. But the only way that the scientific community and think about the biologists and the anthropologists and the archaeologists, right? The professionals out there, members of all of these organizations. It has to be 100% solid, rock solid, or they're not going to discuss it. And that's the way that, and it should be that way. So I have been assured that that is exactly what is going on. And I was right before showtime tonight, everybody. I was on the phone with Jay, and Jay said this to me. He said, I love John. I love you. And I can assure you that we are just about ready to move forward with the news here, and you and John will be the first. So that we have that comfort, right? And we have built the respect with our little three organizations, No More Fake News and Fade to Black and Gaia and Jay, out of respect. And so that's what you get out of respect. We're going to get that information first. I do feel with Jay's tone today, I had to call Jay on some other stuff, and I'll go ahead and discuss that now. And so it was right before the show. Right before the show, I got an email from Peru. Okay, so I called Jay, and that's when I could tell in the tone of his voice that the testing's starting to come in. And it's looking, it's what they were hoping for. I can't speak for Gaia at this point. It's not right, but I will speak about his attitude, right? He was just like, dude, whoa, this, and so, I think that, by next Thursday, when John is back with us, everybody on the show, that we will be ready to, start to make some other announcements here. And it's looking very, very exciting. Now, I got an email, everybody, right before the show. I reached out to one of the players in this that is not mentioned in the Gaia videos. And so I got an email back. Now, and my email said this. I can't remember all of it, but it was something like, it's me. I would like to talk to you. Please get back to me and let's arrange a time. I have some questions. And the email response back was, the site, S-I-T-E, the site is real. I am real. Have a nice day. Right. And so, I read that to Jay. Jay's like, well, what does that mean? I was like, man, I was hoping you would know. But there you go. So now I've got some open dialogue there, and which is exciting for you, John, and everybody else, that we can kind of triangulate our way through this and get to the bottom of it. I have seen some other stuff recently that is just absolutely fascinating, and I don't know what to make of it because I'm not a scientist. But there seems to be, and you and I were talking about this today, so I'll relate this back to the audience for you, and you can jump in. There seems to be something that has been injected or used in the mummification process to keep the body in shape, right? When everything deteriorates. And it appears to me, with my eyes, to be crystal, like quartz. Now, how could that be liquefied and then injected into, to keep the form of the human shape, to fill up those gaps? How can that be? I don't know. Or was it some kind of liquid that was used, 1800 years ago that has since crystallized. A lot of things crystallize. Salt water, eventually it's going to turn into salt. Sugar water would turn into sugar, and turns into crystalline, a solid. So I don't know, but I talked to Jay about this. I talked to you about this, and Jay said, yes, we have those samples, and we're testing that. So that was very interesting to see this crystalline mass in between the bones. The bones themselves are red. And I don't know. Again, I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I'm not a coroner, right? I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm not Cyril Hecht or Wecht. You remember Cyril Wecht?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he was great. Loved everything every time he spoke, everybody shut up, right? He was just a great guy. And I'm not Cyril. So I don't know what I'm looking at here, but to see the bones so red, and John, I know that you saw the same thing. What do you make of, do mummified bones turn red over time?
I have no idea.
I know, right?
No, I haven't seen those pictures. So, and the first hint of this, crystal was from our conversation just before we went on. A couple of other things. The white powder, I've gotten various, interpretations of what that is, because, again, this thing looks like, this mummy, like you would walk into a museum and you would see a sculpture and it was white. And you would say, well, it's marble or it's alabaster.
Right.
More like alabaster, right?
Right.
It looks like that, but it's covered with white powder. So the latest that I've got, and I guess this is accurate, they don't know. They're saying, well, it looks like this substance was used in the mummification process. And they're looking to find out, what is this stuff? But they don't know yet for sure what it is. So that's one thing. And the other thing is, I watched a brief video update from, I think he's sort of the director of public communication at Gaia. And I don't know his name, but he said, look, we're ready for anything. We're not trying to propose that we know that this is, a mummy, it's a human, a mummy, this, that, it's an alien. We're ready for any conclusion that comes down the pipeline.
Right, right.
And I like that because, he wasn't jumping the gun or trying to jump the gun. And so my feeling is, especially with Jay involved, that, they're anticipating, they're excited, they're enthusiastic, but at the same time, they're not going to say, oh, we got it when they don't have it.
Right, right.
They're going to go through all the testing to try to figure out what is going on with this thing that looks so strange and unusual, and they'll report what they find. And one thing, I'm sure they're doing this, but please make sure that every sample that you take for testing, you have enough of that sample, whatever that sample is, and this would be true of all the samples, that you've got enough backup samples of that very sample to do more testing. Because just suppose that a week from now, a month from now, 2 months, whatever it is, conclusions are presented. Here's the results of the DNA. Here's our final assessment of the carbon dating to find out how old it is. These are the X-rays of the fingers and the toes and the surrounding area. And as you say, Jimmy, we have taken samples from every part of the body of Maria, this mummy, and here are the results of all of that. And our conclusion is, let's say, this is not just an ordinary humanoid. This is not a hoax either. This is something that has not been seen. That all of these professionals, the archaeologists and the anthropologists and the historians and so forth, this is a bombshell. Well, I can tell you that before you would get any vague hope of serious interest from the conventional academic community, they would demand more and more and more and more testing. And you better have backup samples to do all of that. You can't say, well, we ran out of samples and there are no more. You've got to have many, many backups, because these people are not going to say, well, this is absolutely fantastic, and now we know we've got something that we've never seen before, and this is a watershed moment in the study of the history of this planet. They are not going to say that right off the bat, for sure.
There's there's other things that also come into play here, and I'm hoping that they're able to construct the DNA as they're doing this testing, because they have to put it back together. You have chromosome counts too, as well. With primates, with humans, with other animals, species. And if anything is off, something comes back with 48 instead of 46, some crazy chromosome count, then everything has to match. There can't be one little deviation. And if that's the way, because I cannot let this escape from my mind. If you've got now 5 or 6 joints in these fingers, well, then you know what? You're testing every single one of those individual bones. You have to, right? Mm-hmm. Not one. You have to test them all and have that match. I want to get past the palm of the hand. Let's just get to the forearm, right? I want those 5, 6 joints in the fingers to match the forearm, to match the rib, to match the legs, to match the toes, and without deviation. And I'm telling you, if it comes back where we have 100% match from head to toe on this thing, the world is going to shift on its axis. It would be absolutely fantastic. It would absolutely shift. You would feel the earth move under my feet. Yeah. And then the report is another thing. I'm just talking now from a researcher's point of view and a reporter. The final report with all of the attached test results, because there's got to be a final report at some point, has got to be incredibly detailed and specific to cover, for example, what you just said, Jimmy, that, we didn't do 2 DNA samples from the fingers. We did 17. We covered all of the bases, and here are all of the results. Now, we're getting into, some expensive stuff here when you do all of this kind of testing. This is not just, a brush off. This is a lot of work to really nail this down. We are right there, too. And then I want to thank you. And then, last week, you probably haven't seen it. Go over to our website after we're done here. Check out the video that we just posted of this opening that we found on the top of Mount Adams. It's crazy. We were up there at ECETI and watching the UFOs, and the next thing you know, we got this huge opening that appeared on Friday, June 30th, right before July 4th kicked off, of this opening on the top of Mount Adams. Just go watch the video, and we'll talk about it over the weekend. Thank you so much, John. Be safe and be well. Big news is coming for us all, and I think it's going to land next week. Thank you, John. Thank you, Jimmy. The best. NoMoreFakeNews.com. That's where you start your day every day. The very best is John Rappaport. This is Fade to Black. All right, it's Thursday night. Open lines are next. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, I'm Katie Lee, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Jimmy Church on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly Ancient Life Oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go Beckley Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product. What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring two Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hard shell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The two full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129, and use the promo code JCRTWS, and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Tappy.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. Thursday night, Fader night, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Now, I've set the tables. Got a lot to talk about tonight. I just retweeted Fiona wearing her Fade to Black gear. Get your Fade to Black gear. It's right there. Yeah, everybody retweet that. That's cool. Excellent picture, Fiona. And wait a minute. What are you standing in front of? Aha. Aha. Is that what? I just saw that. Oh, man, that's cool. That's cool. I hope it's legal in wherever you are taking the picture from. Wow, that's cool. All right, everybody see what Fiona is standing in the middle of. That's pretty cool. Great picture. Get your Fade to Black gear. Just go to our membership area and on our website and become a game changer. That's what you want to do. Become a game changer. You get the autographed hat. You get the new T-shirts. The new T-shirts, by the way, have a new back on them with all of the Fade to Blackisms are all there. It's very cool. So, yeah, those are brand new shirts that we started last month. Okay, all right. Go to our membership area, and you can dress up just like Fiona. Man, that's a good picture. Yeah. All right, I've set the tables. Lots to talk about. Let's immediately get to the phones because it is Fader night. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Sam Cooper.
Dan?
Yes.
How are you?
Pretty good, sir. I was calling to give props to Corey Good. Because of his illustrations and his drawings, he's made my life become more understandable. I had witnessed the Anshar craft, and it was doing like 10 miles an hour after it portaled out. I mean, it was weird. But let me set it up if it's okay. I usually go on my daily walks, and it's around 9:30 in the morning. I'm across from a shopping mall and 2 bus stops, so there were people there. But all of a sudden, it was like a hand with a gentle marshmallow stopped me. My leg tried to go forward, but it kind of gently nudged me back. And I stood there, and I got impatient after a second. I said, what am I supposed to see here? So I did a 180 to my left. I looked at the people. I didn't see anybody different. Looked 180 to the right. Didn't see anybody different. I looked straight up, looked in the sky above me. To the right, 180, then came back to the left, and around 40 yards out, the nose of a ship was pouring in. It was like the static you would see on a TV screen around the nose while it was coming through. Wow. Now, it's the same size as the craft that Corey Good had illustrated, but the thing is, it was around 2.5 times wider. And also on the windows, where the windows are at, he has that one long pennant strip. This had 3 individual portals just like that, except they were separated. They were equidistant, separated. Now, on the front windshield, which was all blacked out, and it's cool that 18 million-year-old beings still have, tinted windows.
Right, right. I hear you.
But I stood there, and it was cruising at like 10, 12 miles an hour. I know this because I'm retired military special forces. But it was like it was purposely going slow so it could see me. And then I made the one call. Oh, well, let me get the description. I'd always ask them, I know they don't have flags or something like that, the description of the craft. Now, if you look at the passenger window and you drew like a cross on it or an X, right in the upper left quadrant, well, not the upper left, but right where the X meets at in the left-hand section, there was a circle. It was like if you took something a little smaller than a basketball but bigger than a soccer ball, and you did an indentation in like mud or wet glass, it was like halfway in. Then inside of that, there was around 30, 40 smaller holes, looked like golf ball holes. And then it was a sandy craft. I call it gold because I'm sure things like that, they probably can afford gold. They don't need cheap paint.
Right.
Where it was like, okay, you had the circle there, about a little smaller than a basketball. Then you had 3, okay, the best way I can describe it, you remember the movie Shaka Zulu, that little spear he had, it was pointy at the tip? All right, well, both ends were like that. That's how it was. That's how the 3 ends were up top and the 3 ends were at the bottom. But in between each of those, up near the top, were smaller diagrams of what I just described with the circle and the spears going out, like the Saturn symbol.
Right.
And it was glorious. I see now why our people have to develop, because every time I walk by the spot, I want to say, wow, if this was years ago, they'd have built a monument here saying, oh, this is where the gods came to. So it's spiritual development, basically, definitely. And our people are going through it. But I thank Corey because now it's easier to understand. I mean, I see these things all the time. I mean, I've stared down Men in Black. Well, maybe I didn't. Maybe they would come down out the sky, and their helicopter skids the skids are what the helicopter lands on. Like me, I was a paratrooper, so when you jump, you have to either stand on those and you got to clear them. But they would come down about 30 feet. I don't know why. They just stand there for about, 30 seconds just staring at me. But it was weird because sometimes there'd be people beside me, and then after they left, I said, oh, wow, did you see that? They said, no, I didn't see nothing. So it's like they can affect time, and they can only let people see them, the ones they want to see them, I guess. I'm not sure. Because when I was at the shopping mall where I saw the Anshar craft, I'm guessing it was an Anshar craft. I mean, it was the closest resemblance to Corey Good's, photo that I saw.
Let me ask you, Dan, let me jump in here. How long did this sighting last for?
That's the crazy part. It was like I was meant for me only. It lasted, they were going 10, 12 miles an hour. They cruised and they banked the craft. I don't know if you fly a craft or not, but they banked the craft. I know they don't need to do it, but it's like they wanted eyes on them. But they banked the craft where I could see them. They were only like 35, 40 feet over my head.
Right.
And they, and they were only like maybe 15, 20 feet away, And I mean, if they didn't have tinted windows, I tried to go inside with my mind, but it didn't work too good. I guess I got defenses against that. But it lasted, I'll say, maybe a good 20 seconds. They were going real slow. But then I made the mistake. I said, I'm going to take a picture. And I forgot, no pictures are allowed. And by the time it was like I was being punished because I held my head down like in shame, like, you're not supposed to be taking pictures.
Right.
Then when I raised it back up, they were pouring out.
Have you drawn this craft? Have you drawn it out? And what about the writing itself? Have you memorized it? Have you been able to write that out? The symbols?
I'm retired military. I'm trained observer. I'm trained. That's why I got it down in every detail. There were no portals. There were no markings. It's like on the helicopters when the Men in Black show up there. There's no avionics. You have to have your number on there. For the FAA and stuff like that.
Right.
And sometimes they're even in regular craft like Black Hawks or regular military craft, but the windows are always blacked out like with welder's glasses. That's what it's like, dark like welder's glasses.
Well, you need to send me some drawings. I want to check it out. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, I'm not good at drawing. I was hoping that way, I can try. Yeah, I guess I can try.
Yeah.
I probably have to call in later and get your address. I'm not, even though I used to be a frequency manager for a major American base, bringing in fiber optics back in the 90s.
Right.
I knew when I came here, this technology, it's so like 50 years below what I'm used to doing. I didn't even want to mess with it. I really hate making phone calls.
Right.
This is important for the people, and this is for our liberation.
That's right. That's right. So, Dan, the easiest way, just go to our website and click on contact, and that'll just take you right there, and you can hit me directly. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay. And send it to me. Okay. I said, and send it to me. I want to check it out. I really do.
Yes, sir. Well, see, that's why I didn't want to put it out on the air well in the way, because then any crackpots can call and say, well, I've seen the crap, it had this, it had that.
That's right.
No, it was glorious. It was so glorious. I can see why. But see, me, I live like the life of a monk. I meditate constantly, day and night. We military vets sometimes, after we come back, it's hard for us to adjust to society, at least society adjusts to us.
Right.
But
I want to thank you for your service, man. I want to thank you for that. And what's that?
You were worth serving, sir.
Thank you so much. And that's exactly why I love all of our audience. And again, thank you for sharing that. Get that drawn, get over to the website, send it to us, and I'll be able to check it out, and then I can contact you directly back, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Dan, for the phone call.
Amen. Good luck to us all.
Yeah, thank you so much. What a great phone call. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's why, and it's so important, and I know, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but listen, if you can't talk here, you can't talk anywhere. And this audience, this family, this show, myself, Rita, listen, this is what we do. I want to hear from you. I've shared all of my most personal things with all of you, and I'm going to listen. So if you have something that the world needs to hear, this is what you do, and you call into this show. 323-825-5045, 323-875-9695. Email is always there. Rita's email, my email, private emails, public email, contacts. There is no way that you cannot get a hold of us. And with that, it's Thursday night. Back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is Juan.
Hey, Juan, how are you?
Hello. Hey, I'm doing good. First time caller from Wisconsin.
Right on.
So, I always heard your story about your encounter with your visitor back in the 90s, I think it was.
Yep.
So, I myself had kind of a similar experience in the 90s too. I mean, I was, I don't know, I think I was about 20 years old. You know, I was still living with my parents. My bedroom was up in the attic. No one ever slept up there other than me.
Right.
So to kind of give you a layout, you know, my room was towards the front of the house. You know, I could see the, you know, the lights coming in, the street lights, so it wasn't dark. So I could, you know, I could still see in the room. And I remember waking up at night. And, you know, I wake up, you know, I'm facing up, looking at the ceiling. I see the ceiling fan spinning, and, you know, I'm just like thinking in my head, man, it's hot, it's summer. And then, you know, as I'm looking around the room, I glance towards the footboard, and towards my footboard, I see 3 grays just standing there. And I was kind of shocked because I was like, I didn't know what to do. So, you know, it was pretty much like I don't know, I had to say the whole showdown went down within like 2 minutes. You know, I was staring at them, and they were just looking at me. I mean, it was weird because they were just standing there like in a museum pose, just looking at me. And so, you know, in my head, I'm just like thinking, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? And as soon as I thought that, the one on the right started moving and started walking towards the headboard.
Wow.
And I totally freaked out. And it was weird because, you know, it was hot in that room, and I had like a bed sheet towards my legs, and I just like reached up and grabbed that bed sheet and covered my head up like a little kid. And from there, I felt like such heaviness that I tried to stay awake to fight it, and I like passed out as I saw that guy walking towards me.
What happened next?
And then I woke up.
Okay.
Well, I snapped out of it, right? And then I got up, I turned on the lights. No one was there, and I was like freaked out. I was like looking all over myself, like what the hell happened? Is something, you know, I was looking for like more like signs, like, you know, any evidence or something that, you know, did this really happen to me? And I'll tell you this, man, I was like so freaked out like that. The nights after, I mean, I was sleeping with the lights on.
I know, right? I know. And that's okay. I admitted it.
Yeah.
I don't have, look, there was just no way. And I guess part of it is because you turn on the lights and then suddenly they're gone. And you know, they don't want to be seen, right? They've been discovered.
Yeah.
That if that's what it takes to make sure that they don't come back, you sleep with the lights on. That's all, man. It's okay.
I suppose, man.
That's what I did.
And, you know, I think about that now as I'm older, and I'm like, why didn't I just like start beating some heads or something as soon as I saw them? Because they weren't that big, you know. And,
right.
But man, it's like the overwhelming fear that I got. I mean, I've never felt so much fear, you know, until that one night. You know, it was like.
Did you ever tell your parents?
Crazy.
Yeah, did you tell your parents about it?
You know, after that experience, you know, I told my girlfriend about it, and, you know, my mom was there, you know, with her when I told them, and they just looked at me like I was crazy, and they just started laughing. And I was like, that's it. I'm not saying anything. I just kept my mouth shut and never told anyone since then.
Yeah, I don't think, you know, that's 1995. So we're stretching 22 years ago now, but I don't think I told anybody. I don't think I did. And I had some really, really close friends. But I also, I didn't talk about UFOs much with my friends anyway. I only had like 2 or 3 friends that knew I had books on UFOs and videos and crazy stuff. I just kept most of it to myself. And, you know, and I get that. I understand. But I don't care anymore. You know, I just don't, I don't care.
Yeah, I think I just told my niece about it, you know, and I'm really close to her, and I tell her the story, and I think she gets kind of freaked out, you know, when I tell her that, but I'm like, you know, it's really true. It really happened to me. And I know you don't believe me, but that's what.
Well, but the point is, Juan, is that you heard me talk about it, and now, you know, it resonated with you, and you wanted to share it with us, and then somebody else is going to hear you and I talking about this, and they're going to call in and share their experience. And this is the point that I enjoy most about that. The millions of people out there that have this experience, that have this shared experience with us, we're not crazy. millions of people. They're not crazy. This is not imagined, and that's what's most important here. There's no telling how many thousands of people right now are listening to you tell your story that are sitting back going, you know what? That happened to me too. I don't feel strange or alone now. And you know what? I'm going to call Jimmy. You never know. Yeah. But that's, that's part of it. And I want to thank you for having the courage, man, and to share that. Now, give everybody your address. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Juan. Hey, thank you so much, and good luck. What part of Wisconsin? You a Green Bay fan?
Well, yeah, I am. I'm in Milwaukee.
Oh, you're in Milwaukee. As you know, Milwaukee's right there on Lake Michigan, and where I grew up, on a clear day, you could see Milwaukee from Waukegan. And
I've driven by Waukegan to go to Chicago. So.
Yeah, it's not that far away. It's right there. And I'd be like 5 years old, 6 years old, whatever, and somebody would go, "That's where the beer comes from." I'll talk to you, Juan. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thanks, Jimmy. Bye.
Great phone call. Thank you so much, Juan. And I'm serious about that. People hear the call and they just want to share their experience now too. And that's what's most important here. Thank you so much, Juan. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Paul from Sioux City, Iowa.
Paul from Sioux City, Iowa. How are you, Paul?
Yeah. Birthplace of Johnny Bowen. Johnny Bowen.
That's right.
I said Johnny first. I've met Johnny, Tommy's brother.
Yep.
He plays drums and guitar. He's gone to, local jam nights, open mic nights. Great drummer, great guitarist. It's pretty cool to see. I guess, the reason I called, I want to share an experience that I had years ago. I still understand it to this day. I came home after I played a local show. I had,
what do you play?
I'm a drummer.
You're a drummer?
I'm sorry?
You're a drummer?
Yeah, I've been playing drums for 18 years. I let another drummer borrow my right cymbal, and the rest of my kit was already back at home in my jam spot. I came back to put my right cymbal with the rest of it. It was a really, really dark room. No light at all. The only light in the room was a pull string, right? Way into the room. So I'm sweeping my arm, looking for the pull string, and I see something kind of lit up in the corner of the room, like 8-10 feet away from me. I couldn't figure out what it was. I'm like, is that a reflection of light? What is that? Because I couldn't see my hand in front of my face.
Right.
And then I saw the shape of a face take form, and I'm looking at it and the longer I look at it, the more it takes shape. And finally, it looks like a white porcelain mask. It's pristine, black eyes, very small nose, very small mouth, very human proportions. It was the strangest thing. And down from the shoulders, it looked. Sounds strange to say. It was like a grayish cloak down to the floor.
Wow!
But as soon as I recognized what it was that I was seeing, it ran at me. I dropped my cymbal and ran out of the room, just scared out of my wits. To this day, I have no idea what it was. I saw it once since, just the face. I was sitting down my bed, getting ready to go to bed. I was halfway sat down, and I saw this vague white glow about 2.5 feet away from me, and I was reaching out going, what is that? And as my hand got almost to it, it took shape just like it did before. It was that white face. It looked like a white porcelain mask. And like a little kid, I dove underneath my blanket, just scared out of my mind. And I heard, like it just brished its fingers across my sleeping bag. And then it sat down and weighed down the side of my bed like it was 200 pounds.
What?
I lost it.
What? Whoa. Okay, this just took an interesting turn. So, are you suggesting that it wasn't an apparition, which is, that's terrifying enough, but it was actually physical and there with a white porcelain mask and a gray cloak? And
man, I wish I knew, because I know for sure, and I know I'm not imagining. I was dead sober, and
right.
I was scared as hell, and it weighed down my bed. And I had a really, really springy bed, right?
Right.
And it sat down, and I felt it weigh down my bed. And the second it did that, it scared me out of my mind. I flew out of the bed. I don't think I touched the floor until I left the
I know
room.
you didn't. You didn't. But wait a minute. You're a drummer. Couldn't you do a 16 beat just with one hand and 16 with the other really quick?
In the air.
In the air.
It's I don't understand it. I don't know if it was if it was an apparition that was able to affect the physical environment. But I mean, the house was haunted like crazy.
Wow, that's nuts. Well, hold on. I got to head to a break. So before I do, let's do a little drummer talk. Who's your favorite drummer?
Yeah. My favorite drummer is Danny Carey from Tool.
Oh, really? Absolutely. Okay. All right. Yeah. So you didn't go with Bonham or Pierre or Vinnie Paul. You went completely out of the box. That's pretty cool.
Well, there was a recent article. I don't remember which rock magazine it was in. They rated the top 100 rock drummers, and Danny Carey was rated number 3, number 2. I don't remember. Number 1 was Bonham, but number 1 and 2 were both dead.
Right.
So what they're saying is Danny Carey is the best rock drummer alive.
Yeah. And, there's a lot of great ones out there, and I love. Yeah. I love to ask drummers that question, and it's really funny how you get from even musicians and singers, guitar players, bass players, whatever, that the respect that John Bonham has managed to maintain. And I think that as the years go by and you go back and you just listen and you just realize how freaking good the guy really, really was. I mean, he was at the level of stupid. And
it was the time that he came about.
That's right.
There's a lot of drummers who have done things he's done, but it's because he did them first.
That's right. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. And and Lenny White and some of those other cats, I still, what? Seriously, Terry Bozzio still to this day freaks me out. I mean, freaks me out. Just an absolutely amazing.
Bozzio is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the phone call, man, and I really appreciate that. And nothing like a really cool first-time caller. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, Jimmy.
Have a great night.
You too.
That's what I'm talking about. Thursday night, Fader night. Drop the Vinnie Paul. I mean, how many paranormal shows, conspiracy shows, can you listen to where we do alien mummies, alien hangar doors on mountains, and Terry Bozzio in one conversation? And you get that from one place and one place only, and that is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Okay, calls are lined up. If you are on hold, stay right there. 323-825-5045, 323-275-9695. Thursday night, Fader night. More of your phone calls next. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
Do you worry a lot? If you're forgetful, nervous, moody, or overwhelmed, chances are you're not protecting yourself from the ravaging effects of stress and anxiety. No matter the cause, ongoing stress and elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can rob your memory, your health, your quality of life, and your future. Now you can combat the effects of stress and anxiety while improving your memory and recall at the same time with the dietary supplement Calm and Clever. Studies show that the ingredients in Calm and Clever reduce cortisol by as much as 30% in as little as 1 to 2 weeks and increase your ability to recall facts, names, and numbers in 4 to 12 weeks. Calm and Clever was created by scientist Kurt Hendricks, a principal investigator in 2 NIH-funded studies on Alzheimer's disease. Try Calm and Clever for 2 months. You'll feel the difference. Call 1-800-758-8746 or go to calmandclever.com.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRAradio.com.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, the planet. It's Thursday night. It is Fader night. This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Life Change Tea. Just go right now. Change your life with Life Change Tea. Click on the banner over at jimmychurchradio.com, and it'll take you straight to getthetea.com. All you got to do is mention Fader, Fader, either over the phone or online. When you order, you're going to get yourself some free shipping. This month, they've got a very cool special going on. Get the tea, the Super Strength Tea. Get a 3-month supply. Get your 4th month of the pomegranate, the brand new pomegranate in that special packaging. Absolutely for free, and you're going to get free shipping. GetThetea.com, promo code Fader. Tonight's Fader night, Thursday night, which means your phone calls all night long, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. With that, let's go straight back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello.
You're live.
This is Mike from West Haven, Connecticut. How you doing?
How you doing, Mike from West Haven, Connecticut? What's going on?
I just called to share a couple stories with you. If I had a couple in my early 20s. I had a really weird sleep paralysis experience where I had no idea what this was at the time. I didn't even find out what it was till probably 7 or 8 years later. But I woke up in the middle of the night, and I opened my eyes. I couldn't move. I couldn't move my arms, my legs, my head, nothing, just my eyes. And I was like scared to death, and I'm hearing noises in my room. And, I was kind of a slob back then, so there was probably like a couple things on the floor, maybe a couple bags or whatever for going get some snacks coming home. But it's like I heard somebody walking around, and I heard things on the floor moving, and I just had this sense there was somebody or something in the room with me, but I couldn't move my head, and I was just out of it. And so I went to go, and I was living at home with my dad at the time. I was in the basement, and I went to go scream for him, and I'm trying to scream, Dad, Dad, and couldn't get any words out, nothing.
Oh, man.
So after about 8 minutes of this, I didn't know what was going on. I kind of just said, I give up. I give up. Well, whatever's going to happen is going to happen here. And I just closed my eyes. I went back to sleep. I woke up the next morning, and the weird part was that I had no memory of the night before. I had memory of that happening, but I couldn't really remember falling asleep or just anything, So about 2 or 3 weeks later, it happened again. But this time, after a couple of minutes, I was able to kind of shake myself out of it.
Right.
But the noises had stopped a couple of minutes before I did. So it never happened again, but not till about 7 or 8 years later, I think it was, when somebody had mentioned sleep paralysis around me, and I said, what is that? What is that? Then I started researching it. But to this day, I'm just still, at some point I want to go have, a regression hypnosis to kind of at least just find out if there was anything going on that night,
Right, right.
But, but that's really that. I didn't see anything, but I heard. And, sometimes, a lot of people say, well, it was real, and other people will think, well, just a figment of imagination. But it's not till something actually happens to you and you're saying that's real, that you really realize, your experiences or what these people are saying is it's really real to them. This stuff isn't figments of imaginations or anything, Well,
let me ask you. Let me ask you this: when you describe noises, I mean, what were you hearing? Were you hearing footsteps, stuff getting knocked over? Did somebody trip? I mean, what do you mean?
Yeah, it was footsteps. It was footsteps. At first, I kind of remember at first when right before I realized that I really couldn't move because, I had opened my eyes, and I was hearing things before I realized I couldn't move. And it more or less, and that was the reason I tried to move, because I wanted to see whatever was going on. It sounded like, and like I said, there might have been a couple of them on the floor. It sounded like, like a grocery store bags, the plastic bags. Almost like somebody walking on top of them, or like potato chip bag. Well, like I said, there might have been a couple things on the floor that if somebody was walking, that's the type of sound. So that's the impression I got, that there was either like an animal in the room or, somebody walking. So that at that point is when I said, oh, let me, it all happened so fast. But at that point is when I said, let me turn and read a book. What's going on here?
Right.
That was that. And I couldn't move. I'm telling you, it is the scariest thing in the whole world, because you are just when I see other people's stories about, they're seeing, entities and everything else during these experiences, I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
like
I know.
when they see something,
Right.
It's just nuts. But
how old were you when this happened?
I'm 37 now. I was in my early 20s, around 21, 22. But I've also had, other little, I had a dream when I was a little kid, probably before I could even talk. And I don't want to really go into the details of the dream right now, but the fact of the matter is the dream, and I hear about these screen memories and stuff like that all the time.
Right.
The fact of the matter is the dream affected me. It was so real when I was even at an age where I shouldn't really remember anything, that I slept under my covers till I was 12 years old.
Right.
Because, so it's like, and that's why I say, one day I want to go get I think that I look into this regression hypnosis a lot. I really think, when you see people going through it, the emotions are so real and everything that it seems pretty legitimate to me. I really want to at least give it a shot someday. But,
yeah, you're more courageous than I am. I remember I went out to dinner one night. We'll call it a dinner with Daryl Sims, and we were at a Denny's, not a dinner. We were at Denny's, right? So we're at Denny's, and Daryl was speaking that night, and so anyway, we're at this Denny's here in Los Angeles. And he looks at me and he says, Jimmy, I've heard about your experience and I think you need to be regressed. And let's go back. I just want to go, and if you'll let me, let's just find out, if anything happened during that experience. And I said, you know what, Daryl, I'm going to be straight with you, man. Even if something happened, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Yeah. And he said, no, you should find out. I said, you know what? I really, it took me so many years to just deal with it that I'm cool. I'm just cool. I'm cool with it. It scared me, but I just need to leave well enough alone. I do. There are others out there like yourself that do need to find out, and they want to find out. And that's why God invented vanilla and chocolate ice cream, right? That, you are you, I am me. I don't want to know.
I'm the type that I have to know.
Right,
I have to know somehow,
I respect that. I respect that a lot.
But, if you give me just one more minute, you fast forward now to last summer, okay? And this is a completely different situation. I lived in West Haven, Connecticut here, and we're on the shoreline in Connecticut, right on Long Island Sound, okay?
Right.
Now, this is August, if you remember the date, okay? It's August 18th, 2016. I'm on the walking on the beach. We have like a 3-mile boardwalk on our beach. 1 a.m., around 12:30, 1 a.m., okay? So it's pretty crowded. I look up, and I'm with a female friend, and I look up, and I kid you not, and I have pictures, and I even have video. Black triangular craft, 3 lights, the whole package. And this thing is, I'm telling you, it had to be, less than a quarter of a mile out, and only a few hundred feet in the air. And we're turned around, and we're like, oh, my God.
Right.
And I'm taking out the camera, because I'm into this stuff, so I'm taking out the camera. I'm filming whatever I could. She's taking pictures. It's silent. It's hovering. I mean, the whole 9 yards of the classic, like that TR-3D type of deal, okay?
Right.
Well, but the funny thing was that it was crowded on the beach. Nobody cared. There was only us and a couple other people, and we're staring into the sky. We're, oh, my God, everybody just going on about their business. Nobody cared. It was unbelievable. They're on their cell phones, looking on their phones,
right,
or whatever. It was unbelievable that nobody cared. Well, anyway, after this whole thing lasted a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes, okay, which felt a lot longer. In come the helicopters.
Oh, really?
5 of them.
Really?
Yeah, I got to send you the pictures and the video.
I've got to see it. How good?
Pretty cool. Yeah.
How good is the video?
Well, the video really kind of shows the helicopters coming in, and kind of like it's weird because the way I was able to get the pictures, I kept running out. Of course, I kept like running out of space on my phone. So then I'm like going back and deleting videos real fast and going back and filming.
Right.
So I have kind of like some chopped up video. I have a couple of pictures, and but the good thing is that this thing is also, when I get into it, I'm going to tell you, it's kind of mass reported. all over. And which is weird is that the helicopters came in, and then you heard the noises. There was no noise before that. But what was weird is they didn't seem to be, like, coming in to check this thing out. They then escorted the thing slowly down the shoreline, which started going south, like as if you were on 95, you're going south towards New York City. This thing escorted, these helicopters came and basically escorted this thing south along the shoreline. So we kind of like followed it and watched the helicopters go, and they were coming from all in. There was 6 helicopters there, black. I mean, the whole classic thing. And I swear I wouldn't even be telling you this if I didn't have the pictures and stuff, because I it sounds crazy. But the next day I started checking out, or over time I started checking out, did anybody else report this, blah, blah, blah. And there's multiple reports. If you Google search Long Island Sound UFO August 18th, 2016, you'll find the reports from the Connecticut cities going right down the shoreline, very similar to what I'm telling you, okay, which is pretty cool. So now it's like when I tell somebody I'm not nuts, if I don't have the pictures with me or anything else, because I had gotten a new cell phone since then, but I could show the documentation too with it. But then what was cool was a couple of months ago, I'm on YouTube, and here it says, news camera captures UFO on their weather cam. Well, now in New Haven, on the Long Wharf weather cam, it shows something more like looks like the light type of deal when you see on the far away thing, and it's shooting across the sky, and then it changes direction to go straight up. So it turned into almost like one of these viral YouTube videos of the news camera catches UFO. So you can even look that up. It's WTNH Channel 8 out here, so you can even watch that event happen on that same exact night, August 18th.
Yeah, I'm watching it. Yeah, I'm watching it right here. Yeah,
you see it?
Yeah, there's a bunch of
really
videos.
Cool.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy.
Yeah, so, I mean, there seems to be a lot of stuff, and I'll tell you, I go up to Providence a lot to go see the water fire shows and stuff.
Right.
And I'll tell you something, that stretch of 95 from, like, exit 3 in Rhode Island, now I am, from exit, like, 3 to 8 is just, I mean, I have seen some stuff out there on that stretch of roads late at night that it's like, that's like a hot spot. You want to see something, drive that Rhode Island 95.
You know what's funny? Now check this out. On August 15th, August 16th, August 17th, 18th, 19th, in 2016, there were sightings all the way across the United States. San Diego, Long Island, what's this other one here? This one says over New York.
Wow! Now, don't forget,
Massachusetts.
I see across the Sound. You could look from our beach. About a clear day, you could see Long Island. So we're on the same.
Right. Wow. No, South Haven. Wow. How far is South Haven?
I don't know. There's no South Haven.
Okay.
There's North Haven, East Haven, West Haven. There's South. There's something South. I forget what the name of it is.
Yeah.
We're a pretty small state, so things are kind of like, if you look, there's one guy that reported a huge report. He goes into detail about what I saw from Milford, Connecticut, which is the next city over, because they basically went right down the shoreline.
Right.
And he filled out a detailed report of August 18th, 2016, and what he saw same time, the whole 9 yards. Which was really cool, but
I want to see your videos. I want to see your videos and pictures. Yeah. So email them to us. Can you do that?
I will. I'll probably get to it. In the next couple of days. Probably not tonight, but in the next couple of days I'll shoot them over. I just started kind of getting into, like, I always listen to the shows on like YouTube, like the reruns and stuff. But today I said, you know what? Let me sign up for the site and see what's going on with this, like, live, chat thing and everything else. So now, like, I'm online, and I'm like, I don't use Twitter, I use Facebook, but, I kind of like, so I'm like asking my friend's 12-year-old son, I'm like, Mateo, how do I join this conversation thing? He's, like, trying to show me and everything. So
right.
It's like my first time actually listening live.
Well, see, and you know what's cool?
You guys are doing great.
Yeah, and see, this is what's cool. Yeah, YouTube and all of our archives, they go up the next day because this is a live show that runs for free and everybody can listen to. And I know we have such a large YouTube fan base and iHeartRadio and everything else that is out there. But they listen to the show the next day. And they think it's a podcast or some kind of, they don't get it.
Yeah.
And then they come over, they listen live just like yourself. And how cool is that, man? How cool
it is.
Anybody
that's going to watch this on YouTube tomorrow, listen to me. I went from watching this on YouTube to the first time listening tonight, and it is a whole different experience. So I'm going to tell everybody, seriously, go over and sign up. It was free. I thought I was going to have to pay or whatever. I signed right up. And then what I thought was cool, I used to say, I wish they did this like the Howard Stern show, where you could watch it too, or whatever.
And you can.
Because you got that bunker cam thing,
Are you looking on the bunker? Are you watching the bunker cam right now?
Right now, I'm not, only because I didn't know what was going to interfere and everything, so I kind of,
because I was waving.
I hope I get through. Yeah. But
I was waving
I'll
at
tell
you.
Something. I'm new to all this stuff. I kind of the last few months, I discovered Art Bell and all this. And I started listening to all this early 90s and mid 90s stuff. And that's how I kind of started thing. But this is awesome, this whole radio thing. I never really knew it existed like that.
Yeah, and the other cool part is, so we do this Monday through Thursday, and then after this, I go over to Coast and I host over there. So you're listen. You'll be able to just do a full week of my voice if you want to do it.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah, I just love this door on the mountain thing. I think
right.
Like I said, I even made a comment earlier. I'm telling you, this could be the year 2017 where
I know.
If this whole mummy thing pans out and this door thing, you don't even need the government. The community did it, which is to me, that's amazing. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly right. What was your name again? What was your name again?
My name's Mike from West Haven.
Mike, thank you. First-time caller. You're now listening live. Yep. You're a fade or not now. You've got the bunker cam. Awesome. You've got it all, my brother. Thank you so much.
Right. And I'll get that stuff over to you as soon as I could.
I really appreciate it. Thank you, Mike.
All right.
You got it.
Bye-bye.
What a great phone call. That's what I'm talking about. You knew I was going to say that's what I'm talking about, right? Because that's what I'm talking about. Wow, what a great phone call. Now, that evolved into a bunch of different things. Let's go back before I get to some more phone calls. 323-825-5045, 323-275-9695. There was, I'll never forget this, and I'm going to watch Twitter light up right now in the chat rooms, okay? I want everybody to put your hat on for a second, and let's go on the Wayback Machine. There was a movie, when I talk about, the feet in the dark, right? The feet in the dark. There was a movie, and I will never, ever forget it, because on my birthday in 1973, a movie was released and on television called Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. And it starred Kim Darby, who I'll never forget. She was amazing in the movie. I forget who played her husband. Jim. Oh man, Lauren Hutton. Jim Hutton. Jim Hutton. And this movie scared me so bad. Right? And the movie was about her and her husband. They get the good deal on the mansion, right? That story. They move in, and in the basement, her husband, there was a fireplace. I think it was in the basement. And they wanted to build like a den or an office there, but there was a fireplace that was bricked up. So while her husband splits for work, she's at home, she's fixing up the house, and she's doing her thing. She decides this brainiac move. Oh, I'm going to surprise my husband. I'm going to unbrick the fireplace, and let's get the fireplace back running, and we'll just have a nice, happy home, and he'll have his office area or a den or something. So anyway, she unbricks this thing. And then one night, she hears these footsteps in the dark, right? Hence the movie, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. And every time she turned on the lights, she'd hear the footsteps, right? Something hiding underneath something, behind something. And turn off the lights, you hear the footsteps, going across the floor. Turn on the lights, something's great. And man, and how the movie ended was one of the craziest things in movie history, forever burned in the front of my brain. Oh my goodness. But that movie, I never forgot it because I watched it on my birthday and I had nightmares for weeks after. That movie was incredible. I think they did a remake and I watched it once and I was just like, yeah, whatever. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Bob. There you go. There she is, unbricking the fireplace. That's going to get a retweet. That movie, who saw this movie? Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, the original. That thing was unbelievably scary. Freaked me out. And now, and again, I think everybody should go and find it on Netflix. It's probably on YouTube and check it out. That movie was awesome. And again, it was on my birthday in 1973. Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. I never forgot Kim Darby after that. And now, again, her husband, what made the movie terrifying to me is that you have the housewife alone, right? You have the housewife alone. She's trying to tell her husband eventually that there's something going on. And he's not buying into it. I think it was something like she wanted to brick it back up. He's like, no, let's leave it open. And eventually, oh man, did somebody just post up the rock? There he is, the little dude. Okay, I didn't want to give that part up. Thanks, Bob. That's the family of these things are what's living in the fireplace deep under. Yeah. Great ending, too. Unbelievable. All right, let's take a break right here. If you're on hold, I'll get to everybody's calls before the end of the show. Don't freak out because it's Thursday night. It's Fader night. That's what I do here. 323-825-5045, 323-275-9695. If you're on hold, stay right there. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black, Fader night. Open lines next.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on the smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed.
It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
Do you or a loved one suffer migraine headaches? Listen to what scientist Kurt Hendricks has to say.
35 million people in the United States suffer with debilitating migraines. If you or a loved one are one of them, you need to know about MigraLief. Hi, I'm Kurt Hendricks, the scientist that formulated and patented the MigraLief migraine formula. MigraLief is a non-prescription dietary supplement recommended by neurologists, pharmacists, and pediatricians to address nutritional deficiencies in both adults and children over 2 with migraines. Try MigraLief for 3 months and see the powerful difference it can make in your life, or get your money back, no questions asked. Go to MIG911.com or call 800-MIG-7354. You can change your life today.
So if you suffer from migraines, don't wait. Call 800-MIG-7354. That's 800-MIG-7354. Or visit MIG911.com.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn
it. This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. Stacy, that is a funny gif. That is a funny gif. That'll get a retweet right there. All right, it is Fader Night, Thursday night. Welcome back. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by River Moon Coffee. That's right, makers of the Fade to Black blend. Yeah, we have our own coffee. River Moon is the very best. You just go right now. Go to the River Moon Coffee banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. Click on it. Go and order your Fade to Black blend. Use F2B blend. That's the promo code. F2B blend. Fade to Black blend. Get it? F2 blend. You're going to get 15% off of your order. And it is the best coffee in the world. All right, Fader Night, Thursday night, open line. Just go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Chase from Salem.
Hey, Chase from Salem. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just hanging out at the moment, driving back into town from a dispatch for fire.
Oh, really? Everything okay?
Yeah, we're a wildland fire crew. We're just we were supposed to have a dispatch, but it got canceled. I guess the fire that we were going out on died, so it's a good thing. But I mean, I'm headed back into town.
So you're out there doing God's work, right? And thank you for that, man. And I'm serious. But you're listening to Fade to Black too at the same time?
Oh no, we weren't out in the field today.
Oh, I got you. So what's on your mind tonight, Chase?
So we were out on our dispatch last night, and we were out sitting on the porch, a couple of guys and me, and telling our ghost stories and whatnot.
Right.
We one of the guys went to bed, and we walked out into the open, looking at the stars. My buddy looks at me and goes, "So, Bill, you ever seen anything in the sky?" And I was like, "Oh, you want to hear my UFO stories?"
Right.
So I told him a couple of my stories, and I asked him if he wanted to see any, and asked me if he wanted me to call some in. So we sat there and kind of called a couple in, and we're sitting waiting, and all of a sudden we see these lights in the sky, and we've seen a couple of here and there, and then there was this one particular one that we were looking at, this real bright light, and starts moving a little bit, starts moving a little faster, and at this point we're thinking, it could be about anything, right? So I presented the idea that it maybe makes some movements that would establish that it wasn't just like a satellite or something. And all of a sudden, this thing starts zigzagging from star to star, going straight out. It was wild. But we were looking around, and that was kind of cool. Let's get some more movement going on, right? So I asked for them to come down and like present themselves. And I don't know, 30 seconds, maybe a minute goes by, and I'm looking around, and over and off to my left, there's a fence with a tree sitting next to it. And I look over there, and I see this shadow, and I see this aura, and somebody was standing there waving at me with a smile on their face.
What?
Oh, yeah, dude.
How tall? What happened?
We were just calling him in, seeing if we could see anything for the night,
Yeah, but I mean,
like the idea.
But he's looking at you, right?
Yeah.
So what happened? Did he just stand there? Did you communicate any telepathic messages?
No, nothing like that. We were just kind of hanging out. I mean, I said hi, I waved back. I said thank you for coming down.
Whoa, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was really excited about it. My buddy had never really done anything like that, so I asked him if he wanted to learn how to do it. So I kind of taught him like the motions and whatnot. We called him in, and all the stuff started happening. And when I asked them to present themselves, they came down into our gravel parking lot at our dispatch, and that was when that one presented themselves to us. So I said hi, and
what did he look
did
like?
The little thing.
What did he look like?
That picture you sent out, like, I don't know, probably 8 months ago or so, with that little figure with like the spacesuit, and like it was waving, smiling.
I kind of remember that. Yeah, I do. So he kind of looked like that.
Just like that.
Really? How tall was he?
Oh yeah, it was probably about my height, like 5.5.
Wow. And you're cool with it.
Oh, I was totally cool with it. I was excited. I was just excited to be able to share that with one of my crew guys.
Yeah. And well, tell me, how did it end? Did you see him leave?
So we're looking around at other things in the sky after like it kind of dissipated, and I was looking off on the other side of the sky, and my buddy looks over towards that area, and he saw something shoot from that bush out left over to the building right there, and I look over that way, and he lost track of it, but I caught track of it when it came back around these two cars. It was a truck and a little car, and it was standing in between us and the truck, about, I don't know, probably 70 feet away. And I was looking, I was pointing at it, and he couldn't see it. So I was like, here, like, show yourself. And all of a sudden, one of the parking lights, or the brake lights on the car on the other side of the truck flashed. Just one of them. And it was just a real quick flash, like somebody stepped on it, let go. But you could see whoever it was right there. It was just, it all turned red and then went back, and you could just see the shadow and the outline.
Man, I'm so jealous. What did what did your buddy?
Cool.
Yeah, what did your buddy say?
Oh, he was sitting there like, what is going on right now? This is freaky. I'm like, no, it's all right. It's all right. Like, just relax. If they were here to hurt us, they would have done that a long time ago. They're friendly.
Right.
And that's always been kind of my theology. Well, since I've gotten a little older, I mean, I told you about the time when we were out, me and my buddy were out there, and we saw the one, and they kind of presented themselves in the tree line,
right?
And we took off. But I mean, it's been a few years. It's probably been 10 years by now, and I'm a little more comfortable with the idea. So at this point, right after that happened, we go back to looking in the sky, and I seen a little one. It wasn't blinking or nothing. It was a white and yellow, maybe a little bit of an orange, and then right under that, you could see another ship pass by without its lights on. A big one.
Wow. Yeah, I love it when it happens like that. And I think that more and more, now that we're conscious of actually what's going on up in the skies and what to look for and how to stay positive, that this phenomenon is going to go move from, like cool urban legend to reality. I mean, for everybody else, I don't need proof of it. I've seen it way too many times now, but I think it's going to actually take that next step. I don't know what it's going to take for mainstream news and media to report on this and to accept it. And I've said it so many times, Chase, but I really mean it. If we had some doofus out with us like Wolf Blitzer or Anderson Cooper or Sean Hannity, one of these doofuses out there, and
they just deny it.
Yeah, I say doofus with respect. They're respectful doofuses. Okay, but if they were out there with us, with the film crew, with everything, and they just see something crazy, mind blowing, and they know it's not anything from us or military, they know what's going down. It's not going to hit the news. They're not going to report on it.
I don't think they'd ever report on it either.
No
chance.
So frustrating. Thank you for the phone call, my friend. And again.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
So, the giant of Canadar. So my buddy that I was out there with was a engineer in
Afghanistan.
Yeah, he was an engineer in Afghanistan. He was but he was in Canadar the year after that giant was killed.
Oh,
and
really?
He was hearing all about it.
Oh, so those reports were real.
Yeah.
Wow. Tell him to call into the show, Chase.
He's actually here right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You want to talk to him?
Yeah, let me talk to him.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing? This is Jimmy. What's your name?
I'm doing good. My name is John.
Hey, John. So Chase was just, obviously, what Chase just said to the audience here and to me, that you were in Kandahar when that you heard reports about the giant that was recovered there.
Yes, I went there maybe, I think it was about maybe half a year to a year after that was reported.
Right.
And they did give us a briefing on it. Told us that we need to stay away from the caves and stuff like that. Pretty much all we heard was there was something that was not human that attacked these soldiers and killed one of them. But they couldn't explain it other than just to stay away from it.
Are you
at the same time when we're
go ahead.
At the same time while we were out there, I was at Fob Leatherneck, and there was lights over Fob Leatherneck, like 10 of them. Like the entire base saw this, and everybody stopped. Everybody was watching, and then we heard reports that Kabul saw it, Kandahar saw it, like just all these weird lights they put up over there and just kind of hung out. It seemed like they were just watching us.
Well, let me ask you this, John. What you're saying is that your platoon, your I don't know how big of a group was there for the briefing, but you guys collect in a tent, or some kind of building, and your commanding officer, your sergeant, your commanding officer, whatever, warrant officer is up in front of you and literally says to the room that you need to stay out of the caves because a giant being attacked us, killed one soldier. We don't know what it was, but you do not go up there. That's what you were told?
Not specifically. They just said it was not human to them. They couldn't explain exactly what it was to us. They just basically said, just stay away from the caves. Don't go anywhere near them.
Well,
they're possibly deadly.
I know, that's insane. So what does not human mean to you as a soldier? I mean, they're trying to get the point across, right? So for you, what does not human mean?
No idea. Just a monster to me.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Wow, that's nuts. Did you guys ever go up to the cave? What are you even scared of? You're armed to the teeth, right? You've got your gear on. You've got your buddies. Do you guys go up to the cave anyway?
No, not at all. We stay away from it.
No.
But, yeah, when we saw those lights, pretty much everybody in my unit, everybody at bases, they all saw these lights up in the sky too.
And what do they look like? What do the lights look like?
They just looked super bright white, and there was about 10 of them in a row.
Right.
And they just they moved in a little bit, and then they just kind of stopped and just kind of hovered over the base for a little bit, and then they just individually started disappearing and just faded out and disappeared, and we never seen them again.
Now, you see, we've all had sightings like that. I've talked about it. We just did it this past July 4th weekend up at ECETI. Saw just about the same thing. Lights coming overhead, flaring up, right. Now, you're in the military. You see Blackhawks, helicopters. You've seen jets and you've seen everything in Afghanistan in the skies. And so you know what you're looking at, and you're trained for that too, of course, right? So when you and the rest of the military that you're there with is looking up at the sky, you guys know that it's not our stuff, our military, our Air Force, our Marines, right?
Yes. We actually thought that maybe they were possibly ballistic missiles, but they weren't moving. And like I said, they just kind of stood there and for a little bit. Everybody just kind of watched in awe. Like, we couldn't explain it at all.
Yeah, so cool when that happens. Now, what about reports? And were you guys debriefed the next day?
No, nobody. Everybody just kind of kept quiet about it. Like, shortly after that, and then when we got back home, we started seeing on the internet about these reports of guys that saw it about the same time that we were there.
Yeah, we were seeing the same reports, and I was always reticent from reporting on it because there's a whole lot of fake, really cool CGI of UFOs blowing up stuff in Afghanistan and Iraq, and it's really well done stuff. And so you don't want to get caught up in that fake news thing, so you don't know what's real and what's not. I've always wanted to talk to somebody that was there, and now I'm talking to you. I feel like I've got a million questions, but that's why I'm just scared of reporting on it, because I don't want to spread fake news, especially when it's combined with all these fake videos that are going around. But you were there, and you can confirm that these lights were over Kandahar that were seen in Kabul.
Oh, for sure. And all my buddies can back it up completely. They were standing right there with me and watching it.
Now, so you think UFO? Do you think ET now?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right. And you're okay with that?
I'm definitely okay with that. I think they're just kind of watching us and just kind of learning what we're doing. Who knows? We could be one giant experiment to them. I don't know. Yeah, no doubt. And what were you, you and your buddies talking about after that? And did you see anything else? We just kind of discussed about what it could possibly be. Like I said, we thought maybe ballistic missiles. We thought maybe a rocket attack was incoming, but like I said, it wasn't actually any kind of rockets or anything. So, and shortly after that, it was kind of like hush-hush, the military style, like nobody talk about it and stuff like that. So,
what about radar?
We kind of just drove on.
Yeah. What about radar?
Not really sure about that because I wasn't too much into the radar scene there. So
I get it. But certainly you're listening to radio chatter, right? I mean, was there anything about incoming? We've got this on radar, and take cover. Something's imminent?
No, there's no, they never sounded the missile warnings or anything like that. So
that's weird.
I'm not sure if it actually showed up on radar or.
Right.
But a lot of people saw it. I know that for sure.
Well, you had plenty of those types of warnings and the sirens kick off. I mean, that happens a lot. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right. So they know when something's incoming, and that's very interesting. So the objects were there, but they weren't tripping off the warning system.
Definitely.
Wow.
That's the only thing I could think of.
And nothing else that you know of. How long were you there?
I was there for a full year.
Full year. What was your MOS? What was your gig?
I was a 92 Lima, which is a mechanic.
You were a mechanic. So you were there in the thick of it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you for your service, John, and all of us thank you for that. And you're here and you're back. And how's life going since? Everything good for you?
Oh, yeah, doing good. I just signed up with these guys to go do firefighting and stuff like that. So I'm just waiting for a call, pretty much.
Are we ever, now that, you were there, are we ever going to, do we have the ability to straighten Afghanistan out, or is this just something that, and with all the respect of our military, they have to deal with the White House and the other stuff that's going on, or do we just pull out and bring everybody back home and stop this thing, because it's been going on since 9/11, it's been going on for a long time.
Definitely. I honestly think we should pull out because, first of all, the people there don't want our help. They've told us time and time again, why are you guys here? All you do is bring the bombs.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, to them, we're invading them, and that's the way they feel. So, and they don't want our Western world, so they're happy with the way they are.
Yeah, Russia tried it. We all know how that ended. And going in and spanking and hunting down bin Laden and the Taliban and all of that. Okay, so we did that. And fine, but you know what? I just risking life, and the part that tears me up is if we pull out tomorrow, then was everything in frustration, all the lives that have been lost and the families that have been devastated, not only from Afghanistan, but American soldiers and American families and everything that we went through. So was it all in vain, and was it all a waste? I think only time will tell.
I'd say in a sense, not so much. Afghanistan and Iraq has definitely changed since we've been there. Women definitely have more rights. There's definitely, there's the singing scene now. Before it was against the religious laws to sing and stuff like that. And now there's people that actually get to sing. They get to enjoy things. They get to go comedy shows and stuff like that.
Right.
So I don't think in full it was in vain, but I think in part it was.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you some real questions. Did you ever see a truck full of $100 bills? Money changing hands? You know what I'm talking about. Nope. You know what I'm talking about. Did you ever see anything like that go down? Nobody knows who you are. You can tell me the truth.
I haven't.
What's that?
I haven't.
Man, you got to, it's okay. You can just tell me a good story. So, hey, John, thank you again for your service. That is just an absolutely amazing account. And the reports were going down over here. And I was very, and what do I do? It's not like you pick up your phone and dial, Kabul and ask for, a Marine to get on the phone and ask them about these things. You just can't do it. So thank you, not only for your service, but for taking the time tonight and sharing that. And give my best to Chase,
Definitely.
will you? Thank you so much.
I will. Thank you very much.
Have a great night.
You too.
Wow. Fader night. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, John, Chase. Do you guys remember, and I'm going to get to the Space Corps reports that have been going around for the last week, and then what went down today in the House in Washington, D.C., what happened today with the Space Corps. So I'm going to talk about that right in just a minute. But do you guys remember the video that was going around about the Vimana that was recovered in a cave in Afghanistan? Do you guys remember that? It went around, and it was pretty heavy there on YouTube and social media for a while. And then the reports of the Stargate that was recovered. You remember those reports? Fun videos to watch, and it got picked up, and suddenly people were talking about it in different talk shows, and it went nuts. And there were also the reports of this Anunnaki, 8-foot-tall Anunnaki that was found in a cave. That's what John was just telling us about there. That attacked and killed. He says one soldier. My memory says that a bunch were killed, but he says one. But for him to say that he gets to Kandahar and they sit everybody down and tell them that the event happened and to stay away from the caves and that this being was not human. That's pretty amazing. That's absolutely amazing. All right. More about this right after the break, and I'll get back to your phone calls too. 323-825-5045 and 323-275-9695. The House appeared ready today to push ahead with legislation ordering the Pentagon to create a new Space Corps. And it's called the Space Corps Service, despite opposition of Defense Secretary Jim Mattis. Now, Representative Mike Turner, Republican, Ohio, had hoped to win a floor vote on his amendment stripping the service from the National Defense Authorization Act, but the House decided not to allow it. The annual policy bill was heading toward a final floor vote and seemed almost certain to pass with its language, creating the Space Corps under the Air Force to take the lead on space operations, which has become increasingly important to the military. It seems that the militarization of space is now a priority. And especially in recent years, this chatter coming out of Washington, D.C. about this is real. Now, more on this after the break. Armed Services approved the measure last month, and Representative Mike Rogers from Alabama, the lead sponsor, said that it must be forced on the military to solve deep problems with the structure and management of space operations in the face of growing Russian and Chinese threats. What do you make of that? Well, I've got more to report on this right after the break and your phone calls. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black, Fader Night. Open lines all night long. We'll get to more of your phone calls next. Stay with us.
To my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter. But listening to Jimmy Church will.
So you went to dinner last night, you had your favorite pasta. Ugh. Or maybe you had a heavy, spicy meal and it left you. Ugh. GetTheTea.com. Maybe you mowed down a huge steak and your plumbing is all plugged. Ugh. GetTheTea.com. Our super strength tea will take care of your occasional. Ugh. It's all organic and non-GMO. Get rid of ugh. We have so many great supplements, but our super tea is number one. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Tepe. What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring 2 Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hardshell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The 2 full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129 and use the promo code JCRTWS and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Tepe.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to jimmychurchradio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRAradio.com.
This is KJCR at jimmychurchradio.com.
All right, Fade to Black, Fader Night, Thursday nights. I want to thank John Rappaport for coming in. No more fake newsroom. The Mummy, the Mummies, Nazca. Crazy stuff going down. I think that we're about to get some pretty big announcements over the next week. And the test results are starting to come in. The test results cannot stay out there forever. So they are starting to come back in now, and it's if it is what I think it's about to be, holy crap, get ready for this. So we'll have stuff to report on starting next week. And I've got a bunch of photographs that have come in that people have taken of the opening up on the top of Mount Adams. And I went today. And you should do this if you haven't done it yet. Just go to Google Earth satellite, and go find ECETI. This is the best way to do it. Go find ECETI, find Trout Lake, and ECETI's there. It's marked in Google Earth. It says it right there, right next to Trout Lake, ECETI Ranch. And so you can, now when you back up and you go to the 3D view from ECETI, you can go and look straight at Mount Adams. And then you go and zoom up, because that's the view that we had. It's really cool to be able to do this. So, and go and just zoom up. You hold down your control key and you can move the mountain around with the mouse. But what you really want to do is do it from the ECETI view, because it is the exact same shot that we have been publishing not only in the video, but online and social media. The different photographs that we had were all taken from ECETI Ranch, so you get the same view. Anyway, go and zoom up and look at that section of the mountain where this opening is. I'm telling you, go and look at our photographs and go and look at what is currently on Google Earth. That opening, those shots the groove in the mountain, the way that it is laid out, is clearly not there. It is not there. If it is a shadow, which it's possible that it can be. I don't know what could create the shadow, but the shadow is not there on Google Earth. Okay? We shot that mountain all day long. And if it was a shadow, the shadow itself would change shape. It would change its angle. It would go up. It would go down. It would go sideways. That's what shadows do. This does not move on the mountain. Any time of the day, any time of the night that we have shot this, it doesn't move. It stays in the same position. So for me, it takes out the shadow element. But when you go look at that section of the mountain in Google Earth, it's not there. It's not. There is an area there that has the same type of shape of the door, but it's flat. And the entire surface there where this is flat. There isn't any outcrops. There isn't anything large. There isn't anything overhead or below that would create a shadow, which you can also clearly see in hold on for a second, which you can clearly see in our images. It's flat again. There's nothing. It would have to be huge. It would have to be hundreds of feet protruding out from the mountain to create a shadow like that. And it's not there. And again, that shadow would move. That's what shadows do, right? They move. But no. Go to Google Earth and check that out. Now, back to this secret space program, this Space Corps. Mattis, Mike Mattis, the Defense Secretary, wrote a letter to Turner on Tuesday saying that he is opposed to the creation of the new service because the Pentagon is still studying how to best manage space operations and would prefer a more integrated approach that includes other service branches. And he said in the letter, I strongly urge Congress to reconsider the proposal of a separate service Space Corps. The Secretary and the Chief of Staff of the Air Force have also strongly opposed the idea, saying it would create unneeded bureaucracy and hobble ongoing efforts to reorganize space operations. Now, when we talk about a secret space program, and if this is actually occurring, we all know about the X-37B. That if that is publicly going on, and this is what we are seeing now discussed in Congress, what is going on in the black side of things, in the black budget side of things. Think about that. It's crazy. Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hello?
Yeah, you're live right now. Who's calling?
Oh, my gosh. Sorry, I didn't think that was me. Oh, hi. Yeah, my name's Fiona.
Hey, Fiona. Is that you?
Yeah, that was me. I posted my picture at work today.
Yeah. Great picture. I guess is it legal? Is weed legal where you are?
Well, I'm in Cali.
Okay.
Well, it's all gray areas, really.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
So you don't mind me telling everybody what you're standing in the middle of?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay, she's standing in the middle of some amazing marijuana plants. Now, are you standing? Let me ask you a question. Are you standing here?
I'm standing and just kind of leaning back a bit.
Okay, so these plants are huge.
Yeah, they're about 9 foot tall.
Yeah, and right next to your right ear clearly is a foot-long bud.
Yeah, there's some nice buds going on in there.
Look,
Real pretty buds.
They're all over the place, but the one right next to your head is pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it would be liked and appreciated.
It's a great photograph. Great photograph. Thank you for that. Just a great photo. She's wearing her Fade to Black hat and her Fade to Black shirt. And
yeah,
absolutely cool. Thank you for that. Okay, so you didn't mind. You posted it first, so I just reposted your post, and
Yeah,
There you go.
I'm totally cool with it.
All right.
And the reason why I was ringing, I wanted to, because sleep paralysis is a big thing that I've had like most of my life.
Really?
It's always, it's always happened, scares the shit out of me, always has done. And I went to Contact in the Desert for the first time.
Right.
And I listened to Jason Quit.
Right.
And he just changed my life completely, just what he had to say and what he was talking about. Because it was kind of like, oh my God, I just feel like everything was just resonating in my body. Like, oh my God, that's similar to me, to my experience.
Right.
So since Contact, I've really been working with Jason's postures and doing that daily. So last night, I went to sleep, and in that state, like in between, they call it the hypnagogy phase or something.
Right.
I met up with a friend in my dream state, and he shouted really loud at me, and I woke up. He said, "He's coming." So I was like, oh, and I had all this like vibration running through my body, and I went back to sleep. So I'm in my dream, and then I'm really lucid, but I've got sleep paralysis. But it's different because normally I'm more awake in this reality when it's happening,
right.
But it was happening in the dream state and very, very lucid. And I'm laying there, and I feel this pressure on my body because I'm on my side, and I'm thinking, oh, it must be my dog because she sleeps on my bed. And as I turn, I see the gray body of an alien. It's like, but it's really thin. I can see its limbs, and inside me, I'm wanting to scream. It's coming out again because I want to shout for help.
Wow.
And I think with doing Jason's practice and listening to what he said of a similar experience like that I was really aware. So I was able to like move my arm and grab hold of it and throw it and bang on the wall at the same time.
Right.
But I just wanted to, I'm a first-time caller, and, I just wanted to feel like I'm in a place where I'm accepted and connected, and so that's why I rang in.
Well,
I just wanted to share my experience.
Well, that's what Fade to Black and the Fadernauts are all about, Fiona. But I'm not going to let you go without a few questions. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Now, did I hear you correctly? And you said that this happened again last night.
It was last night, yeah.
Last night. Okay. So, why did you wake up? Did you hear something?
The first time I woke up, it was because my friend said he's coming, and it was really loud that I woke up in my room.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay, and I felt this unusual vibration through my body. I'm also a breathwork practitioner, so I do a lot of breathing before I go to bed.
Right.
And just with the way my practice is accelerated,
right, with
doing Jason's work, my body's vibrating very differently. And I feel stronger, and I feel more empowered. So I fell back to sleep, and then the dream, I had the paralysis in my lucid dream. And I think just because with what we do through our days in this reality, it supports. Oh, I don't want to. I know I'm not going to sound like a mad woman, but it supports me in the other realities then. So I felt more empowered.
Of course.
So the sleep paralysis wasn't as intense.
Right.
And I was able to grab whatever this thing was and throw it off me.
Right.
Whereas before, like, it was always just seeing somebody in my room,
mm-hmm,
and like just being terrified that
right,
there was somebody in my room. But I've never had this experience before where it's actually sat on me, and it's pressure on my body.
Ooh.
And I just, I could only see, I couldn't see a head. All I could see was its arm and the side of its torso as if it was laying on me, and I was just able to grab it with one arm while I'm whispering in my head to let out a scream, which I can't do, so I throw it and bang on my wall with my other arm at the same time. I don't know, I was just banging for help, I think I was thinking of my mum. Mom, come and help me,
Right. And what? Yeah. So what happened next? After you've gotten physical, right? And you hit the wall. What happened next?
I woke up, and I still felt the unusual vibrations going on in my body, and I was like, oh wow. because it's just because it's so natural anyway. I'm always like, wow, that was fucking cool. Sorry,
right.
That was cool.
Beep.
And then I just went back to sleep.
Beep. So, you were able to go back to sleep. Well, okay. Well, hold on a minute. We'll get to that in a second. So you wake up and you know that this has just happened. Was there anything different in the room? Did you see anything leave the room? Did you feel a presence leave the room?
No, nothing. It was all it was so instant. Soon as I moved and had hold of it with one hand and pushed it away and banged on the wall with my other hand, when I woke up, there was just nothing.
Wow. Oh, what did it feel like?
It's a good question.
Warm, cold?
You know what? All I could, when I think of it, it just felt small. And there was no like hot or cold sensation. It was just, God, how could I explain that?
Frail? When you say small, frail?
No, not frail. It didn't feel frail. It just felt small because the arms were it was so thin looking in its arm.
Right.
And I'm trying to imagine what that must feel like. Touch.
Yeah. Well, while you're thinking about that, did it fight? Did it fight back?
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Okay.
No, nothing. There was nothing else after that. It was just totally gone.
Now
totally
with Jason's positions, did you have your right leg up in the air? I know you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I was laying on my left side.
Right.
So, actually, I don't know if...
Okay.
I was laying on my left side.
Did you
laying
have
on my left side with my head facing north.
Did you have what about, did you have one of your hands over your heart?
No, the left hand had hold of it.
Okay.
Because it was like a weird kind of way I was holding it. Because actually, when I think about it, I didn't want to let it go.
Right.
I was like, it was like, I've got you. You're not like getting away from me.
Right.
Kind of thing. So that was kind of a surprise in that state after I moved. As the paralysis was moved, I think when I was in the paralysis, I actually had hold of it. I've never experienced a sleep paralysis like that. That I felt more empowered in that position.
You felt like
than I have done in the past.
You felt like kicking butt.
Yes.
Interesting.
And that was one of the things that came to my mind was this the practice that I've been doing of Jason's with the postures, because I'm finding so much shift and change within my energetic body.
Right.
And actually how confident I'm feeling and how I just feel more empowered.
Yeah, I was watching.
Happy, content.
I was watching Jason speak up at ECETI last weekend, and he's got like 150 people in front of him, all standing up, doing the postures. And I was like, how cool. I was like, Jason, you go. Everybody was so into it. And it's fun to learn, and it really does do something. I mean, and it's not easy either. Some of them are it's exhausting, and you wouldn't think that it would be, right? But it's like, wow, this stuff is work. Okay, so
putting your left foot forward and having to stand there for a while and do that.
Can't do it. It wears you out. Okay, so now you were able to go back to sleep. What happened then? Did you dream about this? Were you okay with it? Did you defeat this?
I don't have any memory of any dreams or anything afterwards, but I just woke up feeling, I just felt really good about it. I just thought it was really interesting because it was such a shift for me in that dream state. Because to me, that's when existing in that space is God, it's like so much more real to me, and it's, I don't know, it enhances my life in this 3D reality that I exist in as well. So So to me, it was very profound. It's going to affect me and be with me for a long time. And knowing that, because I want to expand and elevate further in that realm and in my consciousness, I feel like, wow, I feel like the fears and the things that have held me back in my life in that way are now I'm more empowered to move forward in that way. And also because I'm shifting in my work and what I'm doing, it's just given me so much more confidence to be able to step into this new reality of what I'm creating for myself in my life that is affecting everything else in the world.
Now,
so yeah, that's how I turn it around.
And you should. And so tonight, you've got to go to bed tonight, right? Right? Yes. So you're cool.
I'm totally cool with it. I'm also aware of like things that Jason said and I think the same with when I listen to James Gilliand. It's like when you're stepping into that space, other things will happen, and I just feel like, well, I'm stepping up into those spaces now, and I'm confident. I feel empowered, and I feel like I have so many tools. And I have so many tools when I'm in the dream state that are not a reality in this world. So I just feel, yeah, bring it on. I'm here, I'm ready, and I'm doing the work.
Have you, since Contact in the Desert, when you first saw Jason speak and you started to do the positions, have you gone back and looked, and if you haven't, you should, but have you gone back and looked at hieroglyphics and looked at some of the Egyptian paintings and carvings on the walls and looked at their feet and arm positions? Have you done that?
I have been doing a bit because we have some prints up in our house.
Right.
So I've been looking at those, but I haven't actually gone online.
You should. You're going to start looking at everybody's feet.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I'm not kidding about this.
I believe you.
You will see. You're going to go, oh, right foot forward here. Oh, left. Oh, interesting. And start looking at the arm positions. I can't, when I look down, I'm always looking at their feet. I'm like, thanks, Jason. There's other stuff here I want to look at, but I'm looking at everybody's feet, and I want to see what foot is forward. Now, there have been lots of study on this, and Egyptologists will tell you one thing, and researchers will tell you another, and sometimes they agree. Even the Egyptologists will argue amongst themselves about the significance of the left foot forward or the right foot forward and where the hands are positioned. But after listening to Jason, I look at it totally differently now. So you should go and do that. Get a book, go online, start looking at all the temples. Look at everything that you can. Look at the papyrus. Look at the painting. Look, the sculptures, and trip on that. It's really a fascinating thing to do. Fiona, thank you for the phone call, and thank you for the picture today.
Yeah, thank you too, Jimmy. You rock.
No, you rock. Thank you, Fiona. And Twitter's lit up, so go say hi to everybody, okay?
All right, thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you so much. There you go, Fiona. A great picture. Yes, I posted it, and she is standing there with all the good bud. And, yeah, you want to go hang out with Fiona now, don't you? The pictures are really, really, really cool. Let me open this up one more time as we start to wind down here. Yeah, that's a pretty good picture. All right, I got time for one more phone call. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Mr. Church, how's it going? It's Jason.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I almost didn't want to call in tonight because I'm not sure that I could outdo any of the calls you've had this evening. It has been an excellent fader night.
Yeah, man, great. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? You know what's next? Taco truck. But anyway, Jason, I earned it, man. I earned it. Okay, so what's on your mind, my friend?
I just it's a couple things. I mean, there's so much going through my mind with all the developments in the Mount Adams. I kind of have grown weary on people these days because there seems to be an era of instant gratification when it comes to discoveries. Like, I feel like in this digital age, every bit of information is available at our fingertips. But when it comes to the natural world, like, there's a process. Like with the door at Mount Adams, like, you can't just roll up there.
No, you can't.
It isn't like something you can just Google. And everybody wants the answer now.
Right.
And I feel like everybody has lost their sense of patience and the discovery, like the wonder of discovery.
Right.
And it bothers me that I hate to be negative about it, but it bothers me that people are like, well, if you can't tell me now, then it doesn't exist.
Right.
Whatever happened to the thrill of the hunt, discovery that we're going to go explore. We're going to have this mission. We're going to set something before us, and we're going to go achieve it.
Bingo.
It's a little disappointing, people's attitudes towards this stuff. Even with the mummy, like, if you can't tell me yesterday what this thing is, then I don't believe it.
Yeah,
then automatically it's a fake.
Yeah, what happened to the scientific process? And I'll tell you something else. Here, you're at Trout Lake. The closest thing to you to go shop is called the General Store. I can guarantee you at the General Store, they don't have a $10,000 drone with a 4K camera on the bottom of it, right? So the closest place for us to go for anything like that is like Portland, right? It's 2 hours away, right? So I'm not kidding. I'm not joking about this. So what they are suggesting is, why didn't you, fly up a drone? Well, dude, I'm in the middle of the forest on Indian reservation land on sacred property at the foot of a dormant volcano that is 13 miles away, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, and you're asking me why I didn't just fly up a drone? Dude, it's just as easy. Yeah, it's just as easy for you. They're writing this from Kansas City. It's just as easy for you to get on a plane in Kansas City, fly to Portland, rent a car, buy a drone on the way out of town, drive up there, and go and do it as it is for me. So why aren't you doing it, brah? Don't hand me that. Because they sell Predator drones that are capable of doing these things on the side of the road at, like, gift shops. Yes, yes. They're accessible to everybody, of course. That's anybody can just do it, man. Why didn't you do it? Yeah, why didn't you stop looking at ferries? Right. Right. Drop the fairy talk and go explore the mountains. Right. It's so easy. That's exactly right. Why? You know what, Jason? I can't believe we were so stupid. I didn't drive 2 hours out of town, rent a Bell Jet Ranger helicopter for $1,000 an hour, and fly it back there and with a video crew from History Channel and go, I forgot about all of that. I'm stupid. All that stuff is right there at your fingertips. It's all right there. Why didn't you just do it? Jason, that's why you're the last call of the night, my friend. That was absolutely brilliant, and thank you for that take. You're the best. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend, my friend. You do the same. Keep rolling that rock uphill, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Jason. Jason Preston, everybody, coming in with the real call. Thank you. What a great night on Fader Night. Thank you, everybody. Just one phone call after another. Thank you so much. Perfect. It was a perfect night. Perfect way to end the week. Absolutely dead nuts. Perfect. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Kamarian. Show is produced by Hilton J. Paul, Mark D. Kovar, LJ3, Renee Jonas. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar, Fady Badale, Webmaster Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. Thank you to John Rappaport and his No More Fake Newsroom. Brilliant take tonight on the Nazca Mummy. Everybody that called in tonight, thank you. Great phone calls. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2017 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter. Now, until Monday, oh man, wait till you see what we have. On Monday, Mark D'Antonio is going to be here. How is that? Oh, we've got an amazing week lined up for you next week. But until then, everybody have a great, safe weekend. Go Beckley Tepe.